Quality fuel from Valero.
Cover them all and more. Your home for grassroots racing. PRN's At the Track from the Performance Racing Network.
Set the stage for you here now. Clint Boyer leads Martin Truex Jr. by about 7 car lengths. Chase Elliott is third. The big news, though, Kyle Busch. He was involved in a crash on the third lap tonight. Got big damage. Left rear caved in. Bumper cover torn off. Looked like he was done for the night. 2 laps down. He has played the strategy game perfect. The cautions have fallen right. He has a fast race car, and he is now back into the 4th position.
I think we need to emphasize a really fast race car because they've had a little bit of strategy, had a yellow flag go in their favor, but he's mainly done it the hard way, Wendy. He has passed a few hundred cars tonight.
You know those drivers, crew chiefs, crew members are thinking, how did we let Kyle Busch make up 2 laps here at Bristol? It's been done with a fast car, with strategy, and a little bit of street smarts. He's had to play it safe a couple times.
Watching right now, Clint Boyer still holding off Martin Truex Jr. It's time now for our Chevy What Have We Learned, the only brand to earn J.D. Power Dependability Awards across cars, trucks, and SUVs 3 years in a row. I think what we have learned tonight, unpredictability. We don't know what's going to happen at Bristol.
Yeah, lap 2, when you saw Kyle Busch get in that wreck, had that damage happen to his race car, I had picked him to win. Hey, there's a chance Kyle Busch can get to victory lane here at Bristol, running in the 4th position, just getting by his brother Kurt. Super fast on the racetrack today, Mark.
Absolutely. I've learned again, if you got Kyle Busch down, you got to keep him down, because if you don't, he's going to climb up and certainly make things interesting at the end of the race. An amazing job by Kyle Busch tonight.
I know we're talking a lot about Kyle Busch. Clint Boyer's driven a nice race tonight, and he has pulled away a little bit from Truex. 6 car lengths here at Bristol seems like a lot more. Now we've got a battle for third. Kyle Busch has caught Chase Elliott along the front stretch here. Kyle Busch a single car length back. He'll take the high line.
The handle seems to have gone away a bit for Chase Elliott. He's lost touch of the front 2, and he's about to lose the 3rd position. Now Kyle Busch goes to the bottom. Chase Elliott top in 3 and 4.
Busch is almost there. Elliott, though, beats him off the top side as they cross the stripe, and right now, just 87 to go.
Chase Elliott wanted the bottom. It wasn't there because Kyle Busch filled that hole. He'll slide up in front of Chase, or will he? They're side-by-side in 3.
Side-by-side, Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott, but Chase Elliott can't get around William Byron, and Kyle Busch will take over the 3rd spot.
We'll keep an eye now to see how quickly he's able to reel in the 2nd place car of Martin Truex Jr. He's about 15-18 car lengths back. Truex sits about 5 car lengths back of the race leader.
Make note that when Kyle Busch moved into 3rd place, he was 1.7 seconds behind leader Clint Boyer. This time by still 1.7 as he works heavy traffic.
Yeah, he got around the many laps down machine of Jamie McMurray, also Timmy Hill. Now he's got clean racetrack. I think we'll get a better gauge, Mark.
It's Clint Boyer, 7 car lengths back to Truex. Call it about 10 car lengths back to 3rd place and closing Kyle Busch.
And Kyle Busch able to run anywhere he wants to on both ends of the racetrack. When he has to use the high groove to pass lap cars, he does it. The bottom works equally well.
Clint Boyer now has a little bit of traffic up ahead of him. Kyle Busch has clear racetrack. He's cut it down to 1.6.
After getting a lap back with the lucky dog, Brad Keselowski is right in front of the race leader, Clint Boyer. He's about to lose a lap once again.
Clint Boyer, the race leader, coming up on Brad Keselowski, has a little bit of separation between himself and Truex. Kyle Busch is, call it 10 car lengths back off of 2nd place Truex.
Matt DiBenedetto's laps down machine was the foil for the moment. Now Truex will clear him. Boyer having a bit of trouble getting around Keselowski.
And looking at these lap times, I know Clint Boyer was just stuck behind Brad Keselowski, now is going to clear him on the inside, but Kyle Busch has had the fastest lap times out there in the field, 0.2 on average faster than the top running car of Clint Boyer.
The last time by, 1.7, cut to 1.2. He's got plenty of time to get there. Kyle Busch again trying to chase the leaders in turn 2.
And right behind them, a great fight for the 4th position. Chase Elliott continues to slip backwards. He's got Eric Jones right on his back bumper in turn 3.
80 laps to go here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Clint Boyer leads Truex by 6 car lengths, 10 car lengths back. It's going to be Kyle Busch. We're on lap 421 of the Bristol night race.
I'm not blooming good, I'm blooming great. Put a shrimp on the barbie and sizzle my steak. Woo, I want that onion to bloom, and it get in my feathers like a sonic boom. No rules, just right. all about Outback Steakhouse. Blooming great!
Their mission was Mars, but on the 5th day, they had burritos.
Oh no, what have we done? Close the door.
Warning, heartburn and gas detected.
They wanted to go home until a scientist saved their dignity with new Tums Chewy Bites plus gas relief.
Everyone, hold on!
This season, get fast heartburn and gas relief that's out of this world. New Tums Chewy Bites plus gas relief. Available in the store near you.
We have 75 laps to go to find out who's going to drive into Outback Victory Lane. Brought to you by Bloomin' Mondays at Outback Steakhouse. Clint Boyer, your leader, by just 0.3 of a second over Martin Truex Jr., and Kyle Busch has cut the gap now to just 0.8 of a second as he continues to work his way towards the front. You're listening to PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Hi, this is Doug Rice of PRN. Join me every Monday night for another great episode of Fast Talk.
They've got 3 drivers under the age of 22 or 23 years old. So this is almost like looking at the Patriots post Tom Brady, where we've got to rebuild. This is like looking at a championship team and saying, we're going through a couple of years of a rebuilding process. But at the same time, right now, as we look at it, it's a pretty big deal.
That's Fast Talk right here on the Performance Racing Network.
We want to help extend the life of your vehicle. Add Z-Max Microlubricant to the fuel and oil where it uses the fluids to reach internal parts. As it soaks into metal, Z-Max disperses harmful carbon buildup to help improve performance, reduce emissions, extend engine life, and increase fuel mileage. Buy Z-Max today at zmax.com or your local auto parts store. Help your vehicle run better with Z-Max Microlubricant.
Busch and Martin Truex Jr. get together, and Truex spins up the racetrack and gets into the outside retaining wall. Big damage on the 78.
And he collects the 7 car of J.J. Yeley. He slams the wall hard. Kyle Busch gets into Martin Truex Jr. as they battle for the second spot, and the caution flag is out again here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, and that is going to be yellow flag number 7.
Mark, one of the cars lost a tire. I think it may be the J.J. Yeley machine that lost a tire, but big damage for Martin Truex Jr. as he shot across the right side of the racetrack up and then collected J.J. Yeley, who was basically an innocent bystander, in a huge event late here at Bristol.
Kyle Petty here. My friends at Click and Close, the official mortgage provider of NASCAR, have stepped up this year to support Victory Junction through the fastest lap of the race program on NASCAR radio. So join our team. Go to clickandclose.com/NASCAR today to donate $43 or more and help us give the gift of camp to children with serious medical conditions. That's clickandclose.com/NASCAR, and just look for the Victory Junction logo. Thanks to Click and Close and NASCAR Radio for their support this season.
We want to help extend the life of your vehicle. Add Z-Max Microlubricant to the fuel and oil where it uses the fluids to reach internal parts. As it soaks into metal, Z-Max disperses harmful carbon buildup to help improve performance, reduce emissions, extend engine life, and increase fuel mileage. Buy Z-Max today at zmax.com or your local auto parts store. Help your vehicle run better with Z-Max Microlubricant.
Back here at Bristol Motor Speedway, huge development along the front stretch here. Kyle Busch made contact with Martin Truex Jr. He rocketed up the racetrack, shot to the outside to his right, and that's where he collected J.J. Yeley, who was a lap car several laps down.
He took his heat shields from his shoes, threw them against the car, then he kicked his car. Let's go to Steve Richards.
And Martin Truex is walking away toward the care center. He was mad as a hornet. He got out of that race car, kicked the door, threw his gloves up against the car. The car is a complete mess as Truex marches his way toward the infield care center.
Also glad to report J.J. Yeley got out of his car, which was also heavily damaged in all of this melee. Let's go to Jim Noble.
problems for Kyle Busch. They've got damage around where the fuel cell, or rather the fuel can, connects on the left side of the car. They can't get the car full of fuel. They couldn't get it in on the last time. So Adam Stevens is going to have to probably pit Kyle Busch twice to get enough fuel in that car to make it the rest of the way. They're trying to figure out how and when to do that right now.
Taking a look at the replays, they exited turn 4. Kyle Busch came up the racetrack, just barely hit the left rear of Martin Truex Jr. He slides across the racetrack. Hard impact driver's door into the inside wall as he slid up the racetrack. Hard contact to the passenger side of that car as J.J. Yeley crashed into him. And then Truex hit the outside wall to boot, and you can tell that impact rang the bell for Martin Truex Jr.
And it's going to take a while to clean this up. A lot of safety vehicles out on the racetrack. We'll take a local timeout and come right back here to Bristol Motor Speedway. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Hi, this is Brett McMillan. Join me each week for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Pit Reporters.
A lot of people hate on him, but I think he's still the next guy that's going to have 3 or 4 championships.
I want to talk about racing. I don't want to talk about 13 cars. I want to talk about buying tires on Sunday morning. I want to talk about some good action on the track.
I was really surprised at kind of how defensive he was just about the whole thing.
The O'Reilly Auto Parts Pit Reporters, right here on PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
You wash the outside, clean the inside, and make sure maintenance is up to date. Pamper your car's engine and fuel system by adding Z-Max Micro Lubricant. Using the fluids as a carrier to reach internal parts, Z-Max literally soaks into metal, dispersing harmful carbon buildup. This helps improve performance, extend engine life, and reduce emissions. Get Z-Max today at zmax.com or your local auto parts store.
At Bristol Motor Speedway, we're under the caution. Kyle Busch taps Martin Truex Jr. Truex goes up the racetrack. His car is destroyed. J.J. Yeley's car is also completely obliterated. Good news, both drivers got out of their cars. They're headed toward the Infield Care Center. We'll be hearing from them shortly.
That was a good karate straight kick to the driver's door of his own car by Martin Truex Jr. And we're looking at NBC, and they're reminding us about Martin Truex Jr. getting into Kyle Busch when they wrecked at Indy.
There is social media buzz happening, if you can imagine. The fans are fired up. Martin Truex Jr. fans are fired up. Kyle Busch fans are retaliating on there. But I did hear Kyle Busch say, I just misjudged it by 6 inches, maybe less.
I mean, it was minimal contact, but it doesn't take much at the speeds they run here to turn somebody around. I don't think Kyle Busch intentionally put Truex in the fence. I don't think that was the furthest from the truth. I mean, we've seen cars beating on each other all night long. It's what you do here at Bristol. By the way, if you want to hear our broadcast when you can't listen to your local radio or tune in on Sirius XM, you can download the free PRN app. It's available now in the Apple App Store and on Google Play. That lets you hear all of our live broadcasts and all of our special shows. NASCAR has yet to open pit road because they had so many safety vehicles right at the entrance to the backstretch pits.
You know, should Kyle Busch win this race, it'll kind of remind me when Dale Earnhardt beat Terry Labonte. There was a lot of cheers and a lot of people unhappy that he found his way to victory lane after those two tangled. And, of course, Dale Sr. coming out on top of that battle.
Well, we got to keep in mind what Jim Noble just reported about Kyle Busch, that he may be having a hard time getting enough fuel into the car, may have to stop 2 more times. So it's not a fait accompli that Kyle Busch is going to go ahead and pass Clint Boyer and win this race.
And, of course, we're down to just 62 laps to go. Make that 61 as they go across the line. So they won't need much fuel, Wendy, to make it the rest of the way.
No, they won't. And look at Eric Jones in the 3rd position. He came out of shot out of a cannon up there in the 3rd position right now, followed by Chase Elliott, Kurt Busch. I mean, there's some great contenders out there.
And, again, what leaps off the page here, Eric Jones 3rd, Austin Dillon 7th. Chris Buescher has ran his guts out tonight.
I think you
in the 8th
predicted that.
spot.
You predicted he was going to be fast tonight. Good job on that one.
Well,
Chris Buescher.
Good for Chris Buescher.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We try, when we have those kind of feel-good stories, to emphasize them because these guys, a lot of them come to the racetrack, they know they're not going to win, but if they can scratch out a top 10 or box above their weight, we want to recognize them. Let's go back to Jim Noble.
By the way, Wendy picked Ricky Stenhouse Jr. as her dark horse driver. I picked him to win. It's kind of ironic. Stenhouse just came over the radio a few minutes ago and said